Hi everyone, welcome back to the channel Java Bytes with Jo. In the previous video, we discussed about operators and operator types in Java. Today, let's discuss and try to understand another interesting concept, conditional statements. So let's get started. We have different flavors under conditional statements, if, else, if, and switch. Based on our requirements, we can go ahead and use the best suitable one. So let's understand what conditional statements are first of all. Conditional statements in Java are used to make decisions. They allow the program to decide what to do based on a condition. They also help the program to execute different blocks of code based on a condition. Let's try to understand this concept with some real life examples. In the first example, if marks are greater than or equal to 35, we'll declare the result as pass. Else, we declare the result as fail. So in the first scenario, we are having only two possible outcomes. If condition is true, we are trying to perform one action. If condition is false, we are doing another action. Now let's have a look at the second example also, traffic signal. If signal is green, we can continue with our current action. If signal is yellow, we need to slow down. If signal is red, we need to stop. So these are the different conditions we have, and based on these conditions, we are trying to perform different actions. Now let's talk about the third example, login system. Usually if password is correct, login will be successful. Else login will not be successful and we need to display some error message. Similarly, in programming world also, we have a variety of scenarios and program has to execute different blocks of code based on the condition. Let's see the different types in conditional statements. Like we discussed, we have a total 4 types of conditional statements in Java: if, else, if, ladder, and switch. Let's go through them one by one and understand each and every type. So let's start with the if statement. This if statement is used when we want to execute a block of code only if a condition is true. So what does this mean? Let's try to understand with some real life example. Let's say we are checking the battery in our phone and there is less charge in our mobile, like less than 20%, then we need to charge the mobile. Otherwise, we don't need to perform anything else. So this is the syntax. And we have some condition. We are checking whether that condition is true or not. If that condition is true, we'll go inside this block and we'll execute the block of code. If condition is false, this block of code will be skipped and we can proceed with the further execution. So here our condition is like we are checking if battery is less than 20%. Is this true? Like I'm having currently 16% of battery in my phone. So condition is being true here. Then I'll go inside this block and I'll execute the whatever the code we have written here. So this is the simple form of if statement. So we can make use of this if statement in scenarios where we are trying to execute or perform some condition only if a condition is true. Now the next one is if else statement. This statement is used when we want to perform one action if condition is true and another action if it is false. Let's understand this with another real life example. So if we take the example of marks again, if marks are greater than or equal to 35, we declare the result as pass, else fail. So again, there are only two possible outcomes. If condition is being true, we are trying to perform one action. If it is not, if it is being false, we are trying to perform another action. And we have the syntax here. We are checking whether condition is true or not. If it is true, this block of code will get executed. If not, else block will get executed. Now the next one is else if ladder. So we use this statement when we have multiple conditions to check one after another. Let's understand this with some real life example. So let's consider the grading system example. Based on the marks, the grade will be changed. So if marks are greater than or equal to 90, we declare the grade as A. If marks are greater than or equal to 75, it will be B. Similarly, if marks are greater than or equal to 35, grade will be C. If any of the above conditions are not true, then we'll go to the default block and we'll declare the result as fail. So in this scenario, we are having multiple conditions. So these are the conditions. Checking marks greater than or equal to 90, 75, 35. These are the different conditions, and based on the result of these conditions, we are performing different actions. Let's have a look at the syntax as well. So we are checking first condition. If it is true, this particular block of code will get executed. If it is false, we'll move on to the further conditions. We'll verify whether they're being true or not. If all the above conditions are not true, then we'll come to the default block and this block of code will get executed. So we can make use of this else if ladder in some scenarios where we need to check the multiple conditions one after another. And now the last one is a switch statement. So this statement is used when we want to compare a single value with multiple fixed options. Let's understand this with some real life example. Let's say we go to a restaurant and place some order. There can be a number of options on menu, but based on the options we selected, that particular item or dish will be prepared and served to us. If you have a look at the syntax here, let's say in variable value we are having paneer butter masala, then it will be checking for that particular value in different cases, and wherever it is matching, that particular block of code will get executed. And it is very important to maintain this break statement, because once our condition is true and that particular block of code is executed, we no need to proceed further and verify other conditions. It is not required. So we need to instruct program to stop the execution. So that is the importance of having break statement. So these are the different conditional statements in Java. Now let's do a quick demo and understand how they practically work. So I created this simple program conditional statements to explain about the different conditional statements. So let's execute this program and understand. So we have the first example for simple form of if statement. Again, we have taken the same example. We are checking the battery in phone. If it is less than 20%, we need to charge the phone. If not, we don't need to do anything else. So here our battery is 10%. Battery variable is containing value 10. It is less than 20. So the condition became true. We'll go inside this block and this particular block will get executed. Inside block, we have written one print statement. We are printing the statement like charge the phone. So condition became true. That's why we got inside this block and executing that particular code. The statement got printed. Now let's see the second example. If else, again I have taken another variable marks. This is containing value 85. We are checking 85 is greater than or equal to 35. Condition became true. So we got inside this block and executing whatever the code we have written here. Inside block we are trying to print one statement. So pass is printed because here the condition became true. That's why. Now, do we need to check the else block also? No, not required, because we are trying to perform one action if condition is true and another action if condition is false. So here our condition already became true, so we perform particular action and we no need to check the else block. Now, let's see the example for else if ladder also. Like we discussed, this statement can be used in scenarios where we need to check the multiple conditions one by one. So again, let's take the example of grade system. If marks are greater than or equal to 90, we need to declare the grade as A. So our marks variable is containing 85 as the value. So first condition is not true. So this block of code will be skipped for the execution. In the second condition, marks 85 is greater than or equal to 75. So here the condition became true. So we got inside this block and we'll try to execute whatever we have written here. So inside the block, we are having one print statement for grade B. So if you see here, grade B is printed because here the condition became true and we got inside this block and executed whatever we have written here. And do we need to check the further conditions? Not required, because in one of the case our condition became true and we executed that particular block of code. Now the last one is switch statement. So I'm trying to perform some condition on a particular day, let's say Wednesday. So I created a variable with some value 3. 3 is for Wednesday. So it will check for that matching value. Case 1 will not be true because it's not matching. 3 is not equal to 1. 3 is not equal to 2. So this case 2 will also be skipped. Here our value is matching. Day is containing value 3. 3 is matched here. We'll go inside this block and this particular statement will get printed. Wednesday is printed. And like we discussed, it is very important to maintain the break statement because here our condition became true. We executed that particular piece of code. Now we need to stop the execution and further conditions no need to be verified. So that's the reason it is important to maintain this break statement. So we have seen the examples for all the conditional statements. I hope it is clear. I hope this session helped you gain some understanding and knowledge about conditional statements in Java. If you found this video helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. I'll be back with another interesting topic in the next video. Until then, take care and bye.